In 1940, Britain escaped Dunkirk with almost no heavy equipment. To fight their way back to Berlin, they deployed a global coalition. The British infantry of World War II functioned as a network of 12 distinct armies operating across every continent. These 10 primary infantry units are defined by 4 specific tactical roles. Lacking the material required for a conventional land war in 1940, British command utilized highly specialized units and the scale of the Empire to offset their early war deficits. The standard regular infantryman, the Tommy, carried the Lee-Enfield. It fired 15 accurate rounds per minute. This rate of fire was so high that German units in World War I reported taking machine gun fire from positions held entirely by British riflemen. The Guards Regiments demanded a minimum height of 6 feet and enforced rigid discipline. Command weaponized this regimental pride against the fear of combat, resulting in the lowest desertion rate of any British unit during the war. Royal Marines operated as amphibious assault specialists and fighting crews aboard warships. In 1942, 10 Marines canoed 70 miles into occupied France to destroy ships in Bordeaux Harbor. Knowing it was likely a one-way mission, they paddled out anyway. Only 2 survived. These regular forces provided the psychological resilience and structural mass required to hold the line in standard attritional warfare. Winston Churchill authorized the commandos for high-impact missions, such as ramming an explosive-packed destroyer into the Saint-Nazaire dry dock. Their training program was lethal enough that command staff tried to cancel it, but Churchill personally overruled them. The parachute regiment took massive risks to secure tactical flanks. At Arnhem, 10,000 paratroopers dropped 60 miles behind enemy lines. Despite intelligence showing SS Panzer divisions in the drop zone, commanders ordered the mission. Only 2,400 men escaped the resulting trap. The Special Air Service operated in small teams in North Africa, destroying over 400 enemy aircraft on the ground. The British government officially disbanded the unit after the war, then quietly reformed it in 1947 when they realized no other unit could match its capability. This asymmetric paradigm allowed the British military to strike high-value targets while they were still building the heavy armor needed for direct engagements. The Empire provided the bulk of the coalition's manpower. Over 100,000 Nepalese Gurkhas served, using night raids with kukri blades to kill silently. German soldiers in North Africa reportedly refused to hold positions at night if they knew Gurkha raiders were nearby. The Australian Imperial Force held Rommel back at Tobruk for 241 days. Despite their effectiveness, Australian troops frequently refused to follow British orders they considered suicidal, creating severe friction at the highest levels of command. This chart shows the Indian Army. With 2.5 million recruits, it was the largest volunteer military force ever assembled. Despite massive internal friction over Britain denying India independence, 40,000 captured Indian soldiers defected to fight for Japan. Without the operational scale provided by these colonial forces, the strategic containment of the Axis powers would have been mathematically impossible. On the domestic front, 1.5 million citizens formed the Home Guard. Tasked with last resort defense, they were initially armed with shotguns, golf clubs, and pitchforks due to weapon shortages. Their secret orders mandated a fight to the absolute last man. It was a suicide defense, and the volunteers signed up knowing they were not expected to survive an invasion. Britain secured victory through a decentralized network of specialists and an imperial force that absorbed years of combat attrition. To see how this fragmented model compared to the monolithic doctrine of the German infantry, you can watch our next briefing here.